Now that we're equipped with the improved moogle throw, there's a few spots where unique monsters can be guaranteed to drop. And our first one here is this red patch of flowers on the steep is where we'll catch one of the most important monsters for our build. Once we've turned on the skill, we simply have to throw Mog once or twice and we're guaranteed to catch Chichu. Chichu, although harmless looking, is one of the heaviest dealing commando builds in the entire game. Chichu, which caps out at level 70, has the late bloomer ability, which means in the last 10 levels, his status points for each Crystarian point are going to skyrocket. He also has Zippy, which means his attack speed and his animation speeds are faster than all the others naturally would be. His attack each time charges the ATB bar, resulting in him being a non-stop force of pure destruction who's used in most builds to absolutely melt the endgame super bosses. This can also be boosted with his pack mentality status, which means if you pair him with other Ochu or feral type monsters, the statuses are even further pushed to their limit. Some of his unique skills include Armor Break at level 17, which will allow him to negate a portion of the enemy's physical defense when attacking. He also gets Scourge at level 60, which means while the target is staggered, his final attack in his ATB bar will deal significantly more damage. There are some factors to manage when dealing with Chichu, as his lower health pool can make him susceptible to being taken out. Chichu's Tasty stat means that he is attacked by monsters more often. His lower health pool can mean that this is a problem. However, you can take advantage of his late bloomer status by giving him early on potent materials or vitality materials to boost his health, and then later on focusing on pure strength. In terms of the abilities you can transfer to him, I'll do a guide later discussing exactly which ones, since things like physical and magic resist and an HP buff of over 30% can be acquired by fusing him with other monsters in a specific order. In a serious pinch, when attacked by massive AoE damage, the Feral Link can be activated, which has iframes for the entire duration of it, allowing you to negate any damage dealt during this time. Our next monster that we can get at this point in the game is Rangda. All we have to do is return to the New Bodom Beach and go to the end of the pier and start tossing Mog off into the ocean. The exact distance doesn't seem to matter, as you can pick up the blue propeller, which is an accessory for your monsters to wear for fashion. Once you get Rangda is a powerful saboteur type monster. At level 43, he'll learn Deprotectka, which will debuff the entire enemy team, as well as at 56, Imperoga, which will allow your team to move more smoothly in taking out the trash. Some of the benefits he gets is a resist magic stat of about 26%, and he can also resist fog at 66%, meaning that he'll almost never be able to be shut down by these annoying monster attacks like the Gigantar. One of the final skills learned, Endless Nightmare, at level 60, will increase the duration of all status debuffs, allowing you to tuck him away and focus on attacking and not have to recast your debuffs over and over. Be warned that using the Feral attack means that he has Feral Fatigue and will go into a slump state, attacking little or to none for a while after using it. So only use Rangda's Feral attack when nearing the end of the fight. Another monster can be caught at the northern end at the meteor crash site. Tossing Mog into the north end where the shadow of the cliff is, you'll be able to catch Cactuarina. Cactuarina is a speedy medic type monster. Her animation is fast and reliable, allowing her to revive Null or Sarah almost instantly. At level 45, her improved Raise 2 will insta-raise your characters and heal a significant portion of their health, allowing you to continue fighting even through the toughest of times. Her Resist Physical reaches 26%, which means that she will be able to shrug off those hard-hitting attacks. Her Feral move, Hypno Dance, will cast Pain, Fog, and Curse on the enemy, as well as dealing magic damage, stunning them and making them unable to move or act for a small duration. Cactuarina has one quirk, and that her Crystarium will mostly award you strength attributes, which are completely useless for the medic class. In this case, it's advised to use mana boosting materials exclusively when leveling up her Crystarium. In the Sunlith Waterscape, you can see these two Flan conversing on the northern slope of this roller coaster ride. Getting them is fairly difficult, and I recommend standing as close to the side as possible when doing it, since you only have 1 or 2 chances. Since Mog is so slow, you will be out of range, and he will bounce right by. I ended up succeeding the catch while waiting for him on the ride back. Aiming it just right, I was able to catch Leyak, and even throw Mog for this bonus Spark Ring, which I totally missed in my previous walkthrough of this area. Leyak is capable of casting party-wide buffs, such as Bravega, buffing everyone's physical damage, and Veilga, negating all interrupt animations, allowing your party to attack without fear of slowing down. Leyak comes packed already with a magic resistance of 50%, halving all magic damage received. As you level up, Leyak also receives physical resistance of 26%, which is almost a third of the damage that'll be chipped off from what you would have taken. Leyak also receives Endless Blessing, a skill which extends significantly the duration of all buffs, allowing your team to be in attack mode for even longer. However, just like Rangda, he suffers from Feral Fatigue, meaning that the Feral attack should be saved for the very end. An important thing to note is that these unique monsters can only be caught once. So if you mess up something in their Crystarium, or you use the wrong materials and things don't go the way you wanted, I would advise you to always start such unique builds with a save state to fall back on. Now it can be noted that releasing the monster should allow you to come back and catch it again, but in the game system this is supposed to work. However, if you infuse this unique monster into something else to gain its unique abilities, the game registers it as still inside your inventory. So this will prevent you from being able to catch another one, and thus abusing their unique abilities in some way or form. So just be careful, and if something goes horribly wrong, a quick exit out to your dashboard to close the game should allow you to reset to the last point in the Historia Crux before your area, usually before all of your upgrade materials were spent and such like that. But it's not always good to rely on that, and I would advise you have a save state loaded before from the Historia Crux. This way you won't lose out on any of your unique monsters' true potential. Besides these monsters, there's a few more to collect throughout the game. However, at this point, these are all the ones we have access to and can be powerful allies for your team early in the game.